Alrighty, good afternoon everyone. I'm your host, The Unyielding. Um, as you guys know, we are doing a tournament today. This one should be for the 5-year anniversary. This one is one of those cash prizes ones, so it's not going for the titles or anything like Titan or Major League. So we do have a $500 prize pool here. Go to our bracket here. We're going to push this here in a few. Just finalizing some things, making sure everybody gets here on time. I'm going to go ahead and do one more big ping here, and then we'll go ahead and close the brackets up. Otherwise, with how it is right now, should have about 14 people attending today. So we've got a pretty good crowd for now. As far as the prizes go for this one, goes 1 through 8th place. 8th place start with 10, 7th gets 20, 6th 35, 5th 50, 4th 60, 3rd 75, 2nd 100, and 1st 150. We're going to give it just a few minutes and then close out the brackets so we can get everything finished up. You could join too, Red Wolf. Got a couple minutes left before I close brackets. Really just 2 left here and then we'll close it up. I prefer the original Spicy, honestly. The original Spicy was better. I mean, maybe you'll show him up here. I don't know. No? Alright, let's make sure I have everyone on here. We'll be closing it up here in just a second. Alright, let me go ahead and... Where is it at? 1 second, I'm looking for... setting here. Where is... Ah, there we go. Alright, we're gonna shuffle the seed a couple times. Alright, there we go. And we're gonna start here. So I'll post codes here in a minute. As usual, this is going to be best of 3 double elimination. So 3 matches. If you lose 1, you get to ban a class. And if you lose the match, then you'll go ahead and head to the loser's bracket. Alright, starting the tournament now, so we are going to be posting codes here in just a minute. if you guys are here, I would reset your brackets, just so you're able to see the actual challenge sets now. What we are going to do here is pick one of the matches here. Let's see, let's go with this one here. This one might be fun. I haven't seen either of these players in a hot minute, so we'll say my commentary is not going to be too crazy deep this time. I'm not going to go insane with it. I'm going to kind of lay off on the talking too much. Sorry, Red Wolf, I didn't get that. Not too bad. I mean, it's a little bad because I forgot that I was actually doing this, so, you know, kind of forgot about it until like last week, and then I remembered, oh shit, I'm doing this week, so. Yeah, Spicy. And I mean Spicy Fridge, you know, the original. No. You can't have them. I'm sorry. It's crazy. Ironlights beef in 2025. Let me see if I can get another code. I don't know if this one's going to load in yet, so we'll go ahead and hop into another one. Let's wait for that to go off. Let's see if I can get into any of these matches. I don't know if any of these have started yet. There's always usually a little bit of delay on the first ones. We'll just keep trying some codes till these work. Alright, let's see if this one works. There we go. Which one is this? Oh, this is Joe versus PDC. Got a little bit of a Dragoon near here. Unlucky for PVC. Looks like they got to go against Joe here. And on dark map with black colors, that is pretty unfortunate. I think he's kind of going for just a quick finish on this match here. Why is Pookie censored on my stream? I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a like. So I don't think that's a bad thing to say, I guess. Try to get some of these other matches set up. I know some people are having trouble getting in. So we'll see if it see if some of these go through. I haven't really thought much of Joe's night. I know Turnips was one of their mains. Joe's already taken one here, so should just need one more to be able to take the whole set. Seems like Joe's taking a set here. Go ahead and move him up on the bracket. Let's see. Make sure to post your match results in the match results channel once you finish up, so I can keep track of where we're at with the matches. Let's go ahead and try to get into that one from before. There we are. This one should be between Roffeloffe and BlueDraconic. Roff, pretty old-time player. I haven't seen them in the tournament scene in a little bit, so I'm actually pretty glad they could show up here today. Should be pretty fun. Their playstyle usually It looks a bit older too when you actually watch how they're playing. It's a lot different than what you see most people doing nowadays. Oh, looks like that one finished up. Let's go ahead, try and hop into this one here. Looks like we're just getting into them at the end of the matches, so... Don't know if they've started yet, but this one is between Lex Lothar and Nex. I haven't seen Nex in the tournaments for a while either. I think Lex has been here for one tournament, maybe two. As far as Nex goes, I believe their Knight was one of their mains. With Lex, I think it's more Duelist and Dragoon, some of Reaper. So we'll see what they start off here. Looks like Nex starting off with Samurai and Lex starting off with their Knight. Looks like Roff won that last match 2-0. So we'll go ahead and put that one in as well. Looks like a person also has to take this one here for no contest. Little dance from Nex there, getting sneaky low range attack off as well. No, just talking about the brackets and all. Zeist is Nex, or Commander. Looks like Attacker also got out of their match here, 2-0. Yeah, I haven't seen Nex in tournaments for a while, but it looks like his Samurai has held up pretty well so far. Able to get Lex down to one hit from half health. Still got half bar of energy here to spare, so... Offense was looking pretty good, but... Fortunately here, did not look like Lex was able to hold up there. Looks like Golden Art lost 2-0. Nope. Looks like Nex also just finished up this match here. Sorry, I've been trying to get some of these codes in. I haven't really been able to give too much attention to that one. You don't got way too much longer, Spicy. Your code just came through. So let's go back to this. Should be Nex versus Lex. Nex versus Lex. Right, Lex versus PC. Actually getting through some of these matches pretty quickly here. Let's go ahead and hop into one of these newer ones. Damn, loser's censored on my thing too. Huh. That's a little bit crazy with censoring everything. Skip through some music here. Let's see if I can get into this one. Sorry, some of these codes are taking a little bit to connect. We can get into any of these. Trying not to do any of the repeat matches too much. This other one again here. Let's see, this one was between BlueDraconic and AlliedGold. Saw both these players earlier. BlueDraconic with the Samurai again, allied with his Dragoon. This is a pretty heavy counter matchup, so it's maybe a little bit tough for BlueDraconic here. Allied leading off with some big hits, a little bit of voodoo in there, and just chipping the damage through. Same stuff we saw Joe doing earlier. Looks like he tossed the parry dagger aside. He's trying to even it out a little bit. This is usually something I'll try to do when in the Samurai versus Dragoon matchup. Really is just a one-sided matchup for this. Looks like BlueDraconic is on a sliver of a piece of HP. It's finished off with a range tech. Not sure if this was the first or second match here. It's like ban the Dragoon, I'm assuming here. Yeah, looks like they banned the Dragoon. Playing Crusader here now. Allied switching back onto the Samurai. This matchup's always been a little interesting. Crusader's pretty good defending Samurai, but it does get a little weak towards its feints. But it does have an offensive advantage against Samurai. Yeah, I know, Spicy, you just gotta wait for Yeetus to finish up. So Crusader is a very techy class, so it may take a pretty good amount of practice to really get it down. I do like the little slowdown thing they did there, something I do quite a bit. Works pretty well as a kind of little mix-up tool. You can see Allied's getting a lot of those headshots in, and it's really just chunking that damage up. Samurai especially is able to take advantage of those kind of flowing combo hits very well. That should finish off that match here. I think this one connected, so we should be able to go into this one. Which match was that? That was Allied and BlueDraconic, so it's going to be 2-0. You know, Yeetus has always had a very strange samurai. I'm not really sure what goes through their head when they're playing it, to be completely honest. SpicyHydra, though, climbed up to MLC with their samurai, so I'd expect to see some good stuff from them here. I have fought it in the past. They usually go for more of a fast-paced samurai. Kind of just getting in those combo hits for most of the lower body. That's where they get most of the chip damage from. Looks like a person also finished up their matches here. Looks like this was the first match here, I believe. It's like Scourge versus Samurai. Don't usually see Scourge too much in the tournaments. It's kind of a really 50-50 class. Some stuff it's really good at, others not so much. Really depends who's using it and how they end up playing it in these matches. Like SpicyHydra really didn't get as many of those whip cracks in as one would usually get. just a little bit unfortunate, as that's usually where that big damage comes in. Just remind me if you guys need matches or anything, because I might forget to put them in. I'm trying to manage the bracket while doing the stream stuff at the same time, so I might get a little bit lost trying to get this set up. Spicy is starting to get some of these big hits through. Yeetus is surviving pretty well and getting it down to a somewhat even match. From what I'm seeing, it's looking like Spicy's left whip is putting on a lot of kind of attacking pressure, but not doing a lot of damage. He's trying to get whip cracks in on the sides and on the head and on that top right corner. It's looking like most of that has been getting defended though, so none of those really big cracks are coming through. Looks like he did a double crack intro there, missed both. He did get 2 whip cracks off there. Looking a lot better for offense now. We'll see if Yeetus can recover from that, try and even it out. Samurai has always had a kind of 50-50 way of getting around Scourge's defense, but it's really going to depend on if they can get headshots here, which unfortunately they were not able to do, so leaves Spicy with enough energy to go in and finish it off here. Yeetus though does survive with just a slipper. Spicy trying to go for a set of whip cracks there, didn't land, so those 2 chip damage hits should bring it to 2-0 for Spicy. Let me see if I can get into another match here. And this one is Attacker versus Roffeloffe. This one might be pretty interesting to watch. Attacker's got a pretty unique playstyle for his knight. I don't usually see much like it. It's a little bit kind of unique to them, I suppose. Roffeloffe, though, having been an older player, might have something unique as well. These are 2 fairly older players, so it's fun to get to see them fight each other in a tournament setting again. are they already fighting? Oh, they're already fighting. Give me a second. Let me exit out of this one if I can. How do I exit again? Okay, I'm gonna restart my spectator client really quickly. I think it bugged out trying to get into that match there, so we'll just go ahead and restart the client. I didn't realize they were already fighting there. Hopefully this one should work and put us in the actual match. There we go. That's more like it. And it seems like we're just getting to the end of it. Roff with Knight and Tiger with Berserker. And it ended. Great. Shame was bugging out there. Hopefully they got one more. Looks like they do. I think Attacker just finished this one up, so I think it should be 0 to 1. I think Attacker was about a 4th health with their Berserker. You could fight Attacker. I think you got it. Alright, looks like Crusader versus Knight here. Roff's Crusader is fairly good. Knight, though, is able to shred that shield down. It looks like that might be what Attacker's going for off the bat here. However, they do get some good feints, avoiding the shield completely and getting a couple good hits on Roff. You'll mostly be seeing these big double hits. Looks like Attacker charged up a little bit more. It does leave him a little bit open for hits, though. 2 good hits in here. Might have been headshots or shoulder shots. It's hard to tell with the vulnerability, but 2 more big hits come through. Attacker does get that range attack off. Roff goes in for another attack here. 2 hits come through. Got even on health. Attacker's got energy lead, but they are building up a little bit of that vulnerability by doing this. Now, Attacker does have a health lead, but they do also have vulnerability. Both energy, about the same here. Roff does have a good bit of energy here, so we might be able to bring this back down to an even setting. Attacker, though, keeping up that good defense, able to block most of the hits coming through. Now Roff pulls back out here and charges back up. This is usually something I only see older players doing, and it does give you quite a big advantage on your energy management. So here it seems like it didn't work as well as he was intending, leaving Attacker good with an opening to get some of those hits up. Attacker going in to finish off his energy. didn't get any hits in, leaving him with a large amount of vulnerability that is immediately capitalized on by Roff, getting 4 big hits in. Roff now with half vulnerability. Both players with equal regen, attacker throwing at range that didn't land. However, he does get 1 big double hit in for 800 and 2 more, which brings it up to about 1500. Roff on low health now, taking some damage from that range attack. It does appear a little bit laggy, but Roff is getting those hits through. It's about even here now. Attacker might actually be on the back foot. Both players are even. Low health and low energy. It's really going to come down to who can get them lower first. Roff going in for the attack first, getting 2 hits in. Attacker with enough energy now. Roff turtling down in the back, just using all the shield he's able. Standing up, but taking a nice double hit there. Still directly even 1 big double hit to the head. Roff still hanging on. Attacker taking 2 more big hits in here. This is really close. 1 range attack going through, but Roff does take the chip damage here. That is unfortunate. That was incredibly close. Very good showing there from them. But attacker does take it 2-0. Automatically move Roff back up since Bo did get out earlier. Let me check on some of these other players here. They're still fighting. Let's check with these 2 as well. Roff did get close on that match there. And those C matches are pretty good. Looks like Joe actually lost these ones. Oh. Wait, no. Hold on, I got that wrong. Whoops. Alright, what is it? Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Should just be waiting on Pancake and Allied to finish up their matches. Let me go ahead and hop into another match here. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. So let's try this one, check up on how they're doing. Looks like it's about halfway through this one. Pancake at half health. Allied almost full. This is a good old nightmare. This has always been a true test of skill for Ironlights. Ooh, attacker, that's gross. Had fly larva in the headset. That's nasty. The joys of having bugs in your headset, man. Seems people's spiders in theirs, but fly larva's kind of... That's a new one for me. Scorpion? Someone had to have planted a scorpion in there. Looks like Pancake's trying to feint around, but not really getting too many of those hits through. Allied is defending a good bit of it and has half energy here, so they've got a pretty good chance of coming back in to take some of this. Some of that damage back in. Looks like Allied's charging up just a little bit, but it's resetting that energy regen. Pancake going in a little bit early, probably could have saved up more of that energy there. Not getting anything from that offense there, so Allied's left with a big energy boost. Pancake going back in, still not getting anything off on that defense. Allied left with the full bar. Looks like Allied's kind of holding off on killing them a little bit. Throwing out some range attacks. Probably trying to clip farm. Good damage coming in. Good defense. Allied does finish it off here though. Let's see if they finish this one up. Okay. They likely finished that one up there, so I'll go ahead and mark that down. No, 2-1. Okay. See if this one's finished up. So, let me see which codes will work. I'm not sure if these guys have fought yet. Guess let's try this code here. I'm hoping... Okay, it looks like this one's going through. This one's Yeetus versus Turnip here. Looks like this one's about halfway done as well. Samurai versus Dragoon. Yeetus actually getting a surprising amount of hits on the Dragoon here. Usually it's a little bit tricky to get past the defense. Good hits coming in here from Turnip though. Some really good headshots. Dragoon's always been pretty good at getting those little types of hits in. It's like a pretty close match here. Yeetus does have energy advantage, so they might be able to finish it off here. Looks like they are going in first here. That head tilt thing has always confused me. Every time I fight them, it's so disorienting watching them snap their neck every time they attack. Confuses the hell out of me. They are able to get some good hits on the shoulders, but Turnip does actually have a little bit more energy. I don't think owls turn their heads like 360 degrees, like rotation-wise like that though. They do it like 180 horizontally, but I don't know if they rotate it on that axis, man. Yeah, it's really good at catching people off guard. It's like a it's such a good distraction. He just does go back in, might be able to finish it off here, and they do. Looks like this is probably the last match. Maybe? Damn, Regnort's overslept. sure if they're fighting again or not. Oh, no. Okay, I guess they finished up here. Go ahead and put that over there. Good match. Yeetus won by forfeit here, so we'll go ahead and mark that as 2-0. It's like Roff versus Yeetus. Which one? Spicy and Attacker. I don't know if they've fought yet. Next and Allied. Okay, Allied won 2-1. Alright, so we're just waiting on 2 matches here. Let me go to this one. This one should be live here. There we go. This one should be Spicy versus Attacker. It's like Samurai versus Berserker. This match is a little bit interesting. Let's see if it'll load properly. Looks like Attacker's got a bit of a health and energy lead here. Samurai's pretty good at getting around Berserker defense, but if you're not experienced with defending against Berserker, it can be a real struggle with any of these matchups. Attacker still with the health lead here, Spicy getting down to about quarter of a bar. Attacker at half health, charges the entire health bar, might end it here. That one-handed defense isn't really catching up to where it needs to fast enough. Looks like Spicy's getting a bit disoriented by it, and end up finishing off by Attacker here. It's like Samurai Mirror here. Both of these players' Samurai is actually pretty good. I know Attacker made a campaign bot with it, was pretty funny. Spicy though, again, did get to MLC with it, so we'll see. I'm not sure how much the skill stacks up against each other in this matchup, so we'll see. Good old Samurai Mare. Here's are usually the best tested skill across all classes, really. Looks like attacker is a little bit lower with some vulnerability. Spicy does have a bit higher energy regen. Attacker's throwing off range attacks, but none of them are really landing. Spicy leading off with that guard break there. Very good. Able to get a nice free hit in. Yeah, I forgot I had this today. I did some errands this morning, and I'm sorry I can't bring the energy, man. You know, I don't want to be too loud, but you know, I don't want to be boring. That's why I got music. I can't be like Dr. Oolong, because I don't think Dr. Oolong has that type of autism. He's definitely got one of them, but he doesn't have the same type as me. Makes me sound like a robot, man. Trust. No, you got it, Regnors. You'll win. Trust. You got it. Attacker actually bringing this match back a little bit. I'm kind of surprised. It was looking pretty bad for them starting off, but I guess they kind of locked into their offense here. Or more their defense, I guess. SpicyHydra going back in here. A lot of big hits here, a couple on vulnerability, so it actually brought it back down a good bit. Attacker tried to get a guard break off there, but I guess Spicy might have predicted that one. That one didn't land. Attacker going off with just about nothing. Missed his guard break. I've been seeing a lot of the guard breaks in this match. It's really, it is something you'll see a lot. Spicy with a pretty good delay feint there, predicting the dodge. Regnorts, everybody struggles against feinting, man. Everybody does. You gotta be like 5 steps ahead sometimes. Get their patterns down. I mean, I'll struggle against it if it's like a feint that I like really suck against. I'll probably fall for it like 20 times before I get it down like once. It's tricky. A little bit of lag starting off here, but Dragoon versus Knight. Attacker going straight for Knight Voodoo. I don't know what his game plan is here. But Spicy does get a couple of good, I believe those might have been shoulder headshots there on attacker's vulnerability. Looks like attacker's just going straight for the Knight Voodoo here. I'm not sure exactly what provoked them to start with this playstyle in this match, but it's like race, so that would be again? No. Nah, oh my god, nah. Did you know Broken Edge introduced a battle pass recently? I only just figured that out from one of the announcements. I cannot believe they add fucking microtransactions to Broken Edge. It honestly fell off so hard. Or not introducing the Ironlights Battle Pass. I'm fine with a couple cosmetics and free to play, but I'm not. I'm not doing an Ironlights Battle Pass. I'm sorry. Looks like attacker's got a pretty good health lead, but a ton of vulnerability. Energy is about even. Leaves a lot of room for Spicy to capitalize here. Gets 2 big hits off on that vulnerability. Attacker does go in after this, getting a lot of those chip damage hits through, as you usually see with this type of match. Was able to get 1 double hit. Ooh, that was a nice refresh. I like that. It's kind of like above the head. That was neat. Still getting those chip damage hits through. Attacker about half health now. Spicy just on a little sliver here. Attacker coming back in with some of that voodoo, just trying to chip that down to as low as he can get it. Spicy trying to get some of his usual hits in, only able to get a few. Bringing attacker down to about a third, but with how much energy his attacker has here, just able to finish off Spicy like that. I think this one should be 2-1 in attacker's favor. I think Spicy won that samurai match. So we'll go ahead and get... Oh, Spicy, look at you go. You get to fight Allied. We will spectate this one. I don't think I've spectated a person yet. Let's see if Roff and Yeetus have finished up yet. Alright, okay. Roff finished up their match here too, so I'll mark that down as 2-0. We'll try and get the attacker versus a person one in. Let's see if it loads on. I'm gonna go ahead and load into the other one here. I don't think they're ready yet, so. I think this should be the second match here. Looks like Spicy won this first one. So we do have that Dragoon versus Samurai matchup back here again. Seeing a lot of the more commonly played classes this time. Actually surprised didn't see any of the more unique classes this tournament, unfortunately. Some of the lower picks and all. Allied does have a fair bit of energy here, so Attacker's already played Berserker. Looks like Spicy's getting a fair bit of damage in, but Allied does have an energy advantage here, so we'll see if they're able to capitalize on their advantage here. Looks like Spicy's blocking most of it. Doesn't look like the Voodoo's really getting many hits in there. More of those hits are coming in from the wide, lower, and side feints. No ninja yet. Might see it later. Spicy about finished on energy. Goes in for their attack here. Trying to get some of those guard breaks in, but it's really a hard thing to do against Dragoon. It's got both the parry dagger and the pole arm, it does get a bit tough to try and guard break on it. But he is getting some of those hits coming through. See Allied waiting for a full charge here. Going for more of the voodoo oriented there. I did see some kind of overhead feint. Something like a guard break there. That one attack there, though, did get them very low, so Allied does take this match. Allied placed second last tournament. Knight versus Samurai match here. This match is usually pretty even. Most of it is kind of based around Knight's defense. If Samurai can get around it, then usually it's a pretty clear winner as far as that goes. But since we saw Allied blocking just about all of the attacks on the introductory one there, I think this may be in their favor this time. The defense they used is pretty good. It's more of a horizontally angled hanging. That one works pretty well against most of the samurai type things here. Gives you pretty good room to readjust for feints. Spicy able to get more hits in last time here, but Allied is almost full on energy, so we'll probably see some more hits coming through here. One of the big weaknesses that I'm kind of seeing from Allied here is that they're waiting to get their energy, not charging up to get that last bit. That's leaving them with a lot of open time for SpicyHydra to charge up their own energy. It's kind of just a little bit of like a bit of wasted time, kind of. SpicyHydra going back in now. See if they can get past some of this defense here. I know they were getting some good hits in earlier. Most of what we're seeing is with those low feints coming through. Able to get one low range attack off, kind of offset the energy regen. Allied still with the health and energy lead. Goes back in, but only really getting these small kind of chip damage hits in this time. Looks like they're mostly targeting legs and lower body this time. Really not worried about those risky headshots. Spicy is left with a pretty good lead on their energy, but they're about half of Allied's health at the moment. Spicy coming in with a slower playstyle this time, kind of trying to disrupt Allies' defensive flow here. Able to get a bunch of really good damage hits here. We'll see if he can make a comeback here, but Allied is full on energy. Match is looking fairly even at this point, but SpicyHydra is coming up on a comeback here. Able to charge up, get enough energy to go in. Changing his playstyle, able to just finish off Allied here with a quick burst of hits. Very good there. That should be 2-1. Alright, now we are coming up on semifinals here. So we're going to see if they're ready or not yet. This one should be between attacker and A person. Looks like we got the Metamancing armor out. I think with the armor A person's wearing now, they may be going for a bit of a more dodge-oriented playstyle. I think it's that armor and... or no, that's not Scout, that's Skirmisher. So he might be going for a more dodge-oriented playstyle instead of kind of tanking most of his hits, so we'll see. Looks like a person here leading off with Dragoon and attacker picking their classic Berserker. Attacker going in for the first offensive here, not really charging up much, but able to get a couple of good damage hits in here. This matchup has always been pretty interesting. Dragoon has actually had a pretty tough time getting in hits against Berserker. No, shell armor looks different, that's Skirmisher. Attacker coming in again, able to get that same hit, about 500 damage coming through. We're really just going to see a lot of the ship damage kind of hits from Berserker. A person here, a little bit higher on energy, able to capitalize on attacker's vulnerability, get one hit in. A person with a slight health lead now, attacker charging up, really trying to get an aggressive playstyle going in. Got one good 600 damage hit in there, another 300. With this matchup, we're really just going to be seeing a lot of that chip damage, just the occasional hits coming through. Especially for Berserker, you're only going to be seeing these 300 to 1000 damage hits at a time. However, once Berserker really gets going on its offensive, it is incredibly hard to recover from the damage it does. A person with some very good hits here, able to get over 2000 damage, it seems like so far, bringing it back down to the lead, kind of capitalizing off of attacker's vulnerability. Risky play from attacker here using the range attack. Berserker incredibly notorious for having the worst range attack in the game. A person with a little bit of parry dagger spam, trying to get attacker to rush in. Looking like now A person's figured out how to defend attacker here. Attacker only able to get one hit. A person full bar of energy goes in. 400 damage introductory hit. Looks like they're focusing more on the legs this time, trying to create an opening. Attacker now on the back foot, just about dead. Goes in, no hits. A person with the lead charging back up, going in for their offensive. And they kill attacker on this rush. Should be 1-0 here. Looks like a person with the monk, attacker with the berserker. This matchup may actually be incredibly tough for attacker. Monk is able to bypass a lot of berserker's defenses here. And they do have a pretty good defense against it as well. Attacker is able to get some hits through on this introductory attack. We'll see how well they can defend the monk here. A person in the lead on health here, attacker with slight energy advantage. A person does get hit by one of the ranged attack pellets here, so they do try and get some more hits through, but berserker does have some pretty good range defense. Stopping with the ranged attacks, attacker goes in for the next offensive here. We'll see if they can get those big hits they were getting before. It's really what will decide if they get the lead or not, is if they can get just those couple of big hits they need. A person having gone in for their next offense here, still keeping that health lead, but it does give the attacker a tiny window to try and get some hits in, which they do. Get one 500 damage hit here. Both players about even on health and energy here. Looks like we're going back to the range attacks. A person able to get one good hit, baiting attacker into charging up, and then going back in. Able to get two good hits for about 900 damage there. Attacker feeling the pressure from that last attack, forced to go in here. Both players about even on health. A person charges up for a little bit of a lead. Attacker moving in to try and capitalize on some of that, and he does. Able to take out all the vulnerability there. A person getting a lot of chip damage hits in here. Though attacker does have a fairly good energy lead. Seeing a person trying to charge up the range attack, attacker decides to go in for the attack here. It's about 500 damage off, but a person does now have a energy lead. A person baiting attacker for the melee attacks again. Able to go in and capitalize on some of attacker's vulnerability. Attacker comes back in, able to get some very good hits in. If they can defend this next rush from a person, They may be able to take it. However, a person does get the hits through and does take this match. Moving down to our Losers Bracket Finals. Nope, not our Losers Bracket Finals. Losers Bracket Semifinals. Looks like a monk versus samurai here. Monk usually has an advantage in this matchup, though we have seen good things from Spicy earlier. Health is about even here, but Joe does have very high energy lead. It looks like they're using it pretty well, able to get a bunch of hits through. Looks like Joe is able to really just bring those hits in here. Not looking too good for Spicy. Just going all out on the offensive here, finishing up. Looks like Joe takes this one with over half health, and it looks like that was the last match in that set. So it should be Joe versus a person for Losers Bracket Finals here. Looks like it was 2-1 for that match. So we should be seeing a match between Attacker and Devotion here. Let's try and connect to this matchup here. As we get into these final matches here, you guys can take a break if you need to, about like 5-10 minutes. Just let me know. Finals for the winners bracket will be done as a 2 best of 3s. We're not going to push it too far with the best of 5s this time, so we'll just go with the usual best of 3s. Actually, no, we'll go with the best of 5s for final. Alright, same attack matchups that we saw last time with a person. Attacker leading off with that Berserker again. Couple of good hits. Jowo looking like they're choosing a faster method of attack here. Both players about even. Attacker with a slight energy lead. Looks like they might have gone back a little bit early. Able to get a couple good hits in, but they are still slightly on the back foot. Both players really just letting themselves charge up here. Joe with a slower introductory attack. I'm not too sure what that was for. They pulled out a little bit early. Attacker choosing to go in for their offensive. Not really getting too many of those big hits through, but we did just see a pretty good 500 damage hit. Joe is slightly on the back foot in health, but they do have a full bar of energy to use against attacker here. They do take the health lead here, getting a lot of those horizontal hits in, mostly to the shoulders and lower body. I do find it's a little bit tough to get headshots with Dragoon sometimes, especially in a matchup against Berserker. Joe charging up again, getting more of those chipping hits through. Attacker does have more energy than Jowo, and like I was just thinking there, he does want to capitalize on all of that energy that Joe has, and he does. He does get one pretty good 900 damage hit in on the vulnerability, but he's still at a disadvantage as far as health. Choosing to go in with low energy, attacker gets a small 300 damage hit off. Joe choosing to go back in again. Fairly high energy. Really just farming on those horizontal hits there. Looks like attacker might have banned Dragoon here. Looks like Berserker versus Knight in this matchup here. Attacker choosing to go in first as usual. Did get one big 900 damage hit, which is looking pretty good during the start of this match, but Knight does have a very easy way of getting around Berserker here, so it's all up to if attacker can defend it. Though this time it does look like Jowo is having a harder time getting these hits in. Attacker choosing to go in for their offense as well, does not get any hits. Going in again is able to get one big 900 damage hit off on vulnerability. Jowo going in for their next attack here. Able to get a couple of chipping hits through, about 600 damage there, but attacker, seeing that vulnerability, charges up, trying to get more of those large hits. Able to get 400 and then a hit for over 1,000 damage there. Double hit. Another 300 hit as well in the end there. Joe, however, does come back in and ends up getting 6 very large chip damage hits here. And got one double hit in there as well. Attacker does have higher health and energy regen, so we'll see where this is at after this next set of attacks. This is pretty even at this point, though. Attacker choosing to go in first. Seeing a couple of those lower 300 damage hits coming through, but Nothing too major yet. Very nice dodge from Joe there. Small 300 double hit on the bottom there. That attack took about half of Joe's remaining health. Attacker doing a pretty good job of defending here, not letting any of those chip damage hits coming through, and actually leaves him with quite a substantial amount of health left. Predicting a charge, decides to charge up a little, gets some hits in, but attacker did take a ton of damage from that range attack there. Very good counter. Joa with slightly more energy, but attacker does have a really good health lead at this point in the match. Deciding to go in for an offensive, 500 damage and 2 very nice double hits here. Joe on a heavy back foot, really depends on if they can get these big hits in here. And it looks like they are getting quite a few of these hits through. We'll see if they can even it back out. Attacker still with a slight health advantage, though the match has evened out quite a bit. Could go either way from this point. Attacker throwing off 2 range attacks here, able to hit Joa with one of the bullets there, forcing them to run in. Joa pulls out a little bit early, and attacker doesn't charge up early this time, probably predicting what Joa would have done. Deciding to wait it out, saved up a good bit of energy, pulling back out, playing it safe really. Both players are. Joe deciding to take the next attack here. Attacker blocking most of the introductory hits, but does get hit by one of the double hits and a few more of those chip damage hits. Left with a large energy lead, going in for their own offense here. Joe blocking most of these introductory hits, all of them so far. However, one double hit does come through on the lower body, 2 double hits, and then 1 chip damage hit. Pretty close match. We'll see if they play it safe again, or if the attacker might be a little bit more aggressive. Seems they are going for that aggression here. No hits come through. Attacker charges up again, trying to take advantage of that, but Joe now has an incredible energy lead. 1 double hit from Joe, trying to get these feints through to be able to finish attacker off. The attacker does take the 1 hit to the shoulder, leaving Joa with the win here. Alright, so we will be coming up on our finals next match. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the restroom real quick for this one. We will be doing this match as a best of 5. Again, since Joe did come from the bottom, he will have to win 2 sets of this to move on, so a person will only have to win one of those sets. So give me a moment, I'll put the codes in soon, but I'll be right back. Alrighty, let me get these codes posted for you guys real quick, and then we'll move on to our finals. Alrighty, getting into our finals here. Again, this will be a best of 5. So we will be seeing if either Joe or A person will take this one. A person only needs to win 1 set from best of 5 here, so Joe will need to win 2 of those. Alright, looks like a Dragoon near starting off. Now, both these players did start fighting off earlier in the tournament. A person had won 2-0, so we'll see how this one goes. This may be one of the more lengthy matches in this tournament. Both players defending fairly well, but it does look like A person has a bit of a health advantage here. Might be chatting up a bit here in this match. I think A person goes in for the attack here. Looks like both players are going to be pretty patient from how the match has gone so far. I mean, really, it just looks... It's like both players are having a pretty tough time getting past each other's defense. It's really just... Every attack is only getting about 500 to 600 damage. It just takes a while. I mean, I think maybe 400 damage came through on that attack there. Looks like they are trying to get some of those range attacks off, but nothing's really landing. A person leading off with that kind of signature horizontal over the head type of voodoo. Looks like they were having a little bit of trouble refreshing there. Able to get more hits on Joe. It's looking like A person has a pretty good lead here so far. Joe's having a hard time getting those hits in, but does get a couple good hits above the shoulder here. Can start to see more of them coming through. 2 good headshots, and it's already evened the match back out. It's pretty interesting. A person still going in back with those attacks here is getting quite a few hits in. About double health advantage on Joe. Joe with their full bar. We'll see if they can get enough hits to even this back out. So far it's looking like A person is defending most of everything here. Only a few small hits coming through. Playing a little bit more aggressively here, charging up just a bit with their energy. This match by itself has already gone on for more than 4 minutes, so it still looks like it's got a little while to go. Couple good hits through here. A lot of headshots coming in from A person. Joe pretty low on health here. We'll see if they can maybe make a comeback. But with their vulnerability, looks like they hit themselves a couple times too. Their energy dropped. Not able to get those hits in. A person's left half health. Now seeing Joe going back in. Might be their last attack here. A person left with full energy and a 3rd bar of health. Looks like they're trying to get some of these bigger headshots in. Really focusing on the upper body this time. But Joe is defending a fair bit of it. Left with just a tiny bit of HP left. A person decides to charge their 4th of a bar here. About half a bar of energy left. Quick intro attack is all A person really needs here. And with 1 hit to the lower body here, and 1 to the upper right torso, A person takes the first match. This match looks like we might have moved on to the Knight. I think Joe might have banned the Dragoon. This match is usually fairly even. Knight might actually have an advantage sometimes for this one, able to get those chip hits through. But Dragoon does have an easier time maneuvering around the defense than usual. I know both players have excelled with these classes in the past, so... So far, looking like A person has another small bit of advantage. Joe with a risky charge up, leaving a fair bit of vulnerability, but we're not seeing any aggression from A person trying to get that down. It's like A person's trying to get a Night Bullet to land, but unfortunately nothing came through. Taking a little bit of boundary damage there. Nice double hit to the torso there. Looks like they're mostly focusing on that horizontal voodoo again. Really bringing in those chip hits. Joe getting a couple of those chip hits as well, but really not chunking in the damage as fast. However, both players are even here on energy and health. Looks like he's still trying to get a Night Bullet off. We'll see if he can get one off this match. Both players really just harassing each other with the range attacks. Joe forces A person to go in with his range attack. It's looking like a few hits came through there with the chip damage. Joe now deciding to rush in for their own attack. Still pretty even on health. We'll see if Joe might be able to take the lead on this match here. But it's still set even. A person does have a slight energy lead though. Looks like A person decides to attack first here. Not seeing much off of this introduction. Only a few small hits and one blade headshot. Looks like Joe was really adapted to those voodoo swings there. We'll see if A person's done the same with their defense. Looks like Joe is getting a couple of smaller hits in, but nothing major enough to really cause an upset. A person having a full bar decides to rush in. One big double hit to the head here, and one smaller single blade hit to the head. Really focusing on opening up the upper body here for some big hits. And the big hits are coming in. Joe now at a disadvantage on health. Needs to try and get A person down to the levels he's at. Interesting feint there, kind of circling around on the side. Able to get one good headshot, and a lot more of these chip hits are coming through. A person though still has a health lead. We'll see if Joe will try and capitalize on this vulnerability here. I'm not sure if it'll be the best idea though, unless he can get these hits in. And he does get one to the shoulder, but it doesn't make much of an impact. A person deciding to go in. Only getting two small chip hits in here. It does leave him with a fair bit of vulnerability, and he does get hit by a parry dagger. Might see Joe take an upset on this one, but with one feint able to get over the head. We're seeing a lot of these similar, more drawn-out feints trying to open up his guard. Trying to finish off with a range attack. A person goes in for their attack. Seems under the pressure, his defense might be cracking a little bit. Joa going in, trying to finish it off. Throwing range attacks at a person, trying to finish off, but dies to the boundary damage. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, hate to see it. There's always one. Happens every tournament, trust me. It's bound to happen at some point, alright? Looks like we have a Scourge versus Samurai for this match. Well, I think we might have seen this matchup earlier with Yeetus and SpicyHydra, but we have not seen it yet to the extent that these players can play. So, a person taking the first attack again. We'll see if Joa is able to feint around there and get these headshots that he needs to get in. Able to even it out, bring both players to an even match. A person, though, deciding to go in again. Able to get 2 small hits off. Both players playing a little bit more aggressive than we've seen them playing earlier in the tournament. A little bit of the jibble jabble there, able to get a range hit off on Joa. Using that kind of blender Scourge. Remember, that one was kind of a pain to fight against. It's really a struggle to fight against it when you're playing something like Samurai. That kind of offensive style is just super difficult to counter. It's not too bad with Knight or anything, but seeing a person trying to get some of his range attacks through, but none of his forward-facing jibble-jabble hits are really getting in at all. Joa playing patient with the range attacks. A person again, really just going for the horizontal hits here. We'll see if Joa is able to get these big hits off. Seeing him mostly targeting that lower body, something you'll see a lot of Samurai players doing. Getting those horizontal headshots in. Got one there for 500. And got another sneaky one coming around the defense there. Both players even now. We've got a pretty good hit in there with the whip crack. Joa does have a slight energy lead though. Joa getting 2 pretty good hits in before backing out. Kind of just putting pressure on him before a person goes in on his offense. We're starting to see Joa block a lot more of these hits, which is good for that late game. A person deciding to play aggressive goes in again, only gets about 200 damage off there. Joe getting one good headshot in there for 500. Really getting it in from that right side of the head. Another good hit to the body there. And it's still looking pretty even on health. A person might be in the lead actually. Just by a little bit. The thing that's really difficult about Scourge is that Jibble Jabble is low energy cost and it's a little bit tough to block sometimes. So allows a person to put on some range pressure. Joa with a full bar of energy doesn't charge in, but instead lets a person go first. Might want to try and get a person to charge, soften up his health bar. But it is leaving Joa open to all these hits, and it looks like he might have gotten overwhelmed there. Trying to feint back around and get some of these hits that he needs, but they're having a hard time coming through. One good hit coming through there, but not enough to bring it to where he needs it to be. A person with enough energy here charges in, takes the match. With that match, I believe a person takes the tournament here, actually. So I believe this was the last match here. Alright. Let me go ahead and finalize this stuff really quickly so that I can figure out the placement for everyone. Okay. Alright, well GG's to everyone who competed. For the placings, we actually have, and I might have to split this a little bit differently than I was intending. We actually have 4 people that are in 9th place, but we only have, or no, because PDC won. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and count PDC as the number 8 player. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot up on screen so that you guys can see this. But there's just a little thing where they didn't actually count a 8th place person. So because of that, I kind of just have to count one of the 9th place people as the 8th place finisher. Looks like PDC was the only one that won a match in their 9th place slot, so I'm gonna count them. Oh, I forgot I had this up here. Here, you guys can have a cornball. Yeah, I know. I'm not sleepy. I'm just autistic. Trust me, it's usually not better. We'll go ahead and add this really quickly so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's go to there we go. Alright, so this is what we were sitting at for our final results. We're going to count PDC here as our 8th place contender. So going up, PDC, Turnip, you got 8th. Next, you came 7th. Oh, Yeetus also came 7th. And Allied and Roff also came 5th. Okay. I might actually see if these guys can run some of their matches back, just so we can get an accurate placing on these leaderboards. So let me reach out to these players real quick, see if they can fight. If not, we'll just figure it out. We might rerun some of these matches a little bit later. And that's Yeetus and Nex. That's a little bit of a pain as far as the bracket here goes. But as far as our guaranteed slots, SpicyHydra came 4th, Attacker came 3rd, Joe came 2nd, and A Person came 1st. I'm going to check and see if these guys can fight real quick. If they can, we'll stream their matches. If not, we'll just rerun them and then decide at a later date. Alright, so I guess Roff is out for the moment, so okay, yes, so Roff would be in 5th, nope, hold on. I'm losing my mind again. Roff would be in 6th. Okay. Yes, so Roff would be in 6th. Still waiting to hear back from Yeetus here. Alright, so yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here. We'll figure some of this stuff out later, but again, thank you guys for attending. Thanks to everyone who came in and decided to stop by and watch. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully I'll be able to host some more in the future if Ironlights can unkill itself. We'll see. But for now, hope y'all have a good rest of your evening or morning. Oh yeah, happy birthday Ironlights. They turned 5 years old last month. Other than that, I don't have anything else, so thanks for y'all who competed. Good game to everyone who fought in here. Congrats to the winners. You guys can go ahead and get in contact with me, and we'll get you guys all sorted out. Alright, well, I've been your host, The Unyielding. Have a good rest of your evening.